The fireplace is done. We have done it. It's right behind me, you can see. My name is Corbin. I'm a wannabe DIYer. I'm gonna be walking through exactly how I built this, all the steps. Let's jump right in. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is buy some 1x6 common boards and find your studs and attach those boards to the studs. This is so that you can attach your frame directly to those common boards and not have to worry about where the position of your studs are. Some people do choose to remove their baseboards, but my baseboards were ½ inch thick and the common board was 1 inch thick, so it kind of the board came out long enough that the baseboards didn't get in the way, but just know that you might want to remove your baseboards if they get in the way. And because I was doing this by myself, I used a brad nailer to attach them to the wall at first, and then I went back and used screws to actually attach them to the studs. As far as spacing for the boards, I don't think it really matters as much. I just made sure I had one all the way at the top and one at the bottom, and then in between. I think I went 24 inches or so. This is an 8-foot wall, so I think I went 24 inches between each one. I can't remember exactly, but it was something like that. Once I had the backer board secured in a good place, it was time to make some cuts to actually start building out the side of the frames. I just used a circular saw. A miter saw would probably be better for this if you have one, but the circular saw was the only thing that I had. Now we're going to start building the actual frame. So I've cut these blocks here to 7 inches because I want it to be just about 10 inches out from here. And the key to this is you're going to want to make sure everything's super level, because if not, it's going to kind of throw off the whole project. So I got my speed square, my right angle here, and then a level while I'm going through. So using the speed square helped a ton to make sure that the angles were right, and then I would use clamps here to secure it in place just enough, because once again I was working alone. And then I would take my brad nailer kind of the same way I did with the backing boards, hit them with the brad nailer a couple times, and then I would go back with wood screws and secure it from there. And the wood for these is just common 2x4 wood that you can pick up at your local hardware store. I only show me building one in this video, but of course you're going to need to build two, so just repeat this process twice. Boards built out, or the side frames. We have our backing boards attached to the studs. I think we've got 4 different ones. We've got both of these over here. So now we are going to attach these just directly on to this part of the backing board. So let's do it. Okay, so I decided to go through and remove parts of the carpet. And I chose to remove the carpet just to make it look more clean. I thought it would help. I don't know if it really did or not. You can choose to do that if you'd like to, but I'm glad I did. I think it kind of made it look even more built in. So now, as you can see here, I'm following kind of the same process. I'm lining it up. I'm hitting it with the brad nail to kind of secure it in place, and then I'm going back with the wood screws to get everything in there. This can be a little bit tricky. Sometimes you got to go on weird angles to get the 2x4s into that backing board, but it really secures that frame in there really well. Okay, so we got these frames all put into the backing boards. I just kind of came in at an angle with my drill and drilled these through. Disclaimer, I'm not a contractor or anything, not professional. This is how I'm doing it, but and this thing is not going anywhere. It's super sturdy. I put 2 screws in per backing board and then went all the way down. So you see here you have the gap for the backing board, and then or right here, we'll fill these in later. So there's not a space there. Probably with Shiplap, I think is what we're going to use. And that just goes all the way up there. And this thing is solid. And we got it on both sides. The fireplace we got is 36 inch is wide with the cover. I got this off at Amazon. It was only like 200 bucks. Overall, I would highly recommend it. I'll leave a link to this fireplace down below in the description in case any of you are looking to get the same thing. And also, this fireplace does just plug right into your electrical outlet. You don't need to do anything fancy with it. It's 12.5 amps, so most houses have at least 15 amps, so you're totally fine to just plug it into any outlet. So here we're getting ready to mount the TV, or make sure the TV is in the right spot to mount. I marked my center, and then I marked where the studs will go so that the holes will line up on the mounted TV. This is just a dry fit before I go through and actually nail everything. But make sure that your studs are definitely lined up to be able to fit your mount. And a link to the mount that I used is down below as well if anybody wants that. Time to attach that front frame. Same kind of thing. This was kind of awkward to get in here. You kind of had to kick it in and make sure everything fit well. It was nice and snug, which was nice. Then I attached it on the side with those brad nails just to secure it, and then went back and drilled in as many screws as I could onto the boards. I love the fireplace we got. It was super easy to install. I did have to go back and add these little backing boards on the back side of it to attach it, but besides that, it was really easy. Here you see those white boards that I was using just to use as a stud to attach the fireplace. I did run an outlet to attach to the 2x4. I had a buddy help me out who's an electrician. This was used so that I could hide the cords when I hung up the TV. I decided to add some baseboards to the fireplace. A lot of people just go straight down with the shiplap. For me, I like the look of the baseboard, so I used, I think this is 3.5 inch prime MDF board, and I just went through along the bottom and attached it with the brad nailer. And now it's time for shiplap. So I went through and just started attaching to each of the studs. I tried to stay in the tongue and groove, I think is what it's called, so I had the least amount of nails to patch. As you can see, when I'm coming around the fireplace, I did remove the cover so that I could put the shiplap right against there and use the cover to hide some of those cuts. I used a jigsaw to cut out parts of the shiplap where I needed to go around the outlet and the fireplace. For the top, I used MDF board again to kind of have a little bit of a crown molding, I guess you could call it. Also, sorry for the long camera angles. I forgot to switch my camera horizontal. And this is what I used for the corners to hide the shiplap cuts, kind of on the corner outside. This looked awesome. I love this product, and I think it helped clean everything up really well. So next, I attached the mount and put on the TV. For the mantle, I took a couple pieces of scrap wood and attached them that way. I'll have a full video on this coming out in the next couple days, so don't forget to subscribe if you want to see how I built that mantle. Now we need to go through and caulk these sides, and then up kind of on that crease right there, finish it off. And here's what it looks like caulked. A lot better, a lot cleaner. And then I did caulk the top as well. And then final notes, just make sure to caulk wherever there's cracks, and then also go through and fill all your brad nail holes with wood filler or spackle to really complete and finish the look. This video helpful. It would mean the world to me if you'd like and subscribe. Make sure other people see it. We'll see you next time.